Yo, crypto nation and mining family, what is going on? What up, what up, what up, all you happy hashers? As you slide down in here, don't forget to smash that lizardy like button, subscribe, hit bell notification. You guys know what to do. You know, it's the normal YouTube thing, you know. So what is going on, Sadie? What's up? What's up? So, what is going on, everybody? We have a, it could be a boring one, could be just your general, normal, everyday maintenance, or it could be that this GPU has issues. So, let's kind of dig into this stuff. So, what's been going on with it is this fan is not an issue. These two fans, it's like, I don't know if my camera will pick it up. Let's see here. See how much movement on that fan I've got? And here, let me see if I get a little closer. See that? That's a lot of movement in the fan. This is the other one at the other end. Just as much wobbliness. I mean, factory, they got a little bit of give to them, but this one spins nice. And then when you're spinning this one, let me see if I can get it in the camera view here. So it's like it like wobbles and then like stops. This one just spins. This one too. It kind of wobbles and stops. So the card has been giving me a little bit of issues here and there. Sadie says, "What's up?" This card's been giving me issues. So if you guys were there for the live stream of me building the PC for work, which somebody at my work likes to turn it off while I'm not there. I'm gonna have to yell at them for it. Be like, "Stop touching my shit." But whenever I was building that rig during the live stream, this card in particular, while it was sitting, I saw an arc come off this rear IO, right? I turned it off immediately and pulled it off the rig, made sure everything was not hurt. This thing was still powering on. I was, the ports here are dirty, so I was getting like kind of like intermittent like interface to a monitor with them, but I did see video through it, so I was like, okay, the card's not hurt. Hive OS is still seeing it. So, okay, not bad. So I just swapped this one out for a 1070 and sent that to work. Put one of my EVGAs in there because it was in a little bit better condition for, just overall dirt and stuff that's on this thing. I wasn't going through, and it's a 1660 Ti. There's a little bit of, I would say not that it was like around water, but it saw humidity with dirt. So like there's certain areas where it's just like creviced in there, like right above my finger. That I could sit there and with like a little rag here and some Windex. Don't just spray it down on here. I know, just in case for some of the people that are watching this on the backside, spray it onto a little cloth, and then let that go into it, because you're not trying to soak the surface. You're just trying to get something that's going to help remove the dirt. And I know some of the dirt's just never going to come off. I'd have to basically, see, that's just like been sitting in a mining facility for months and months and months, and just kind of hashing away like a good little card, and saw just a little bit of moisture. No direct water, and this stuff was not sitting like right in front of a window or anything like that. But well, at one point in time they were at my house here though. But that was a long time ago. So I mean, you could just sit here and just get a little bit of cleaning up onto this thing. And, over time, you can get a lot of the dirt up off of this thing. It's just real fine dirt, dust and everything that kind of gets into all little crooks and crevices on this. But you're not going to, without polishing this, you're not going to bring it back to its original glory. It's going to look like it had some mileage on there. If you do find it where your ports actually got dirt and dust in there, and you can't get any good video connection out of it. This is the stuff that I use. This is me. Your mileage may vary, but I always have really good luck with this stuff, which is the CRC electronic cleaner in the red can. This stuff is the shit. So, quick drying formula, doesn't really leave residue behind. This will be what I would recommend people if you're going to be cleaning out your display ports, your HDMI ports, or just kind of spray. You can use this to spray down the whole PCB if you want. This is not going to hurt any of the electronics. Non-conductive, like, you know, it's quick drying formula, says so on the can, and it does pretty much evaporate pretty quickly. I have to get more of that stuff because that stuff I use on a lot of different things. So today's episode is basically going to be, I'm going to be stripping off the fans off of this thing because of two fans being wobbly. And then I'm going to go in a little bit deeper onto this thing. I'm actually going to pull the cooler off of this, take a look at the PCB. Just because I did see the arc on that came off the rear I/O on this, I want to make sure that that there's nothing obviously damaged. I mean, it's booting up and everything, so I mean, I think that like the errors that I'm getting are off the fan right now, so I'm thinking that's part of what the issue is that the fan controller is yelling and becoming upset, and this card's got some kind of protection built into it, or it glitches because of it. So let's go ahead, dig these fans off, take the cooler off, and let's look under the hood. So, go ahead, get some screwdrivers out. See what size we got here. That's a little smaller. So these ones on the ASUS, there's 3 screws on the bottom, and then right up with the fans, there's 3 more screws. So just kind of pay attention to that. I believe they are different screws from top to bottom, so don't mix them up, guys. Try to keep them in order of how you pull them out. Unless you already are familiar with the card itself and know what screws are what, I would not recommend just mixing them all up. Hopefully it's just right general maintenance that this card needs, and I can get this thing back up to hashing. And they changed size back to the bigger size. How do I get you out there, though? Hopefully that one's not stripped. Able to get these out. Issue. I've never gone into this thing, so these things should not be stripped. Oh, I bet you I know what it is. I just put a little bit more pressure down, and I bet you it's just filled with dirt and the screwdriver wasn't bottoming out. That happens. All right, so now, as I said, the shroud should now come out of here. There are still LEDs hooked up to this stuff. What up, Golden Wolf? And there will be cat fur everywhere because I do have cats here. It's just where this is the time where you can just very carefully unhook the connector. If it will let me. This one's just a pinch, but there we go. So now I can remove this up out of the way. If you wanted to, you can go in there with a little brush and, you know, clean out all the little nooks and crannies of all the the quick loose dust on it like this, which is pretty much all that I'm really doing real quick here. Kind of get the loose little dirt up out of the way. I mean, if you're so inclined to, that's all I'm doing. Just taking out an old toothbrush. Again, I mean, this card could be trashed, you know, and I'm doing all this cleaning for nothing, right? But I'd rather do it now. The card's fine. That's what I'm hoping on. So now we got to take off the fans. The fans have 4 screws per fan, and then they should lift up out of here. Usually, all the fans have the same screw. That's been true on all the GPUs that I've ever pulled apart. They use all the same screws, so you can pretty much mix and match. Now, I haven't pulled apart an Intel, but I would assume that they would be try to keep some uniformity to their disassembly process also. All right, that's one fan lifted. Hell yeah, cats of crypto. I know this is like the boring part of it all. Trying to get screws, wrestling screws up out of this thing. I'm really curious to see if there's any damage on the PCB side from seeing an electrical arc, or is that just like a static discharge that went ripping through the card? I'm hoping it was just, you know, a random static discharge. All right, so that's all the fans basically lifted. Now I gotta see how they have these here down, here, there. Tape there, tape there, and then I can just unplug you. All right, so that's my fans. Now I'm going to put that off to the side here. I'm going to grab the new fans. We're going to take a look at them. Take a look at the connector end on them. Okay, that looks the same. All right, these look the same. Cool. That's basically what I'm looking for. Hey, do you look the same? Yes. Thank you. Please come again. All right. So we're going to go ahead and start attaching some screws here. Beautiful. All right, I got one in place. Let's see if I can get the screw started in the first try. Oh, I got it. I have to go in there with my other screwdriver because this one's like my smaller one, and it's letting me kind of get at least get these started. I can go back into here and give them a little tighten down. Oop. Oh, these don't want to let me tighten them down with that one. All right, you are too thick. Will let me do it to this one, that's for sure. Because it is the bigger, little bit bigger with Phillips than what I'm using to get in there with, but I now I see how I have to get into it. There we go. Easy to start it with these. Start it with a smaller screwdriver, but do not tighten it. It will try to strip out on you, and you will not have a good time. It's an aluminum cooler, and you do not want to let these things strip out in any way, shape, or form. Want to get these up on there because this is like the most tedious side of it all. Once I get past this, so much easier to work on the PCB side than the cooler side. You don't have to go real super tight with it, especially if it's like your first time, like really stumbling across somebody like doing repairs on a GPU or maintenance on a GPU. Uh, it's just like finger tight. What up, Nick? What up? What up? Just doing some of that maintenance, hoping that this card is not hurt because it is giving me issues with staying hashing for any length of time. Like I said, this thing did arc on the rear IO, but it wasn't through the GPU, I guess. You want to kind of be technical about it. It was like it was hard to say if it was the GPU doing that or if it was just like a static discharge through the chassis of the mining rig itself. But it's just been recently that it started giving me all this issue. In the last like I don't know 4 days. Do the traditional peel. Oh yeah, we have done the peel. So again, I'm not gonna tighten down the cooler. This is where I'm just gonna put the no, I can't even put the shroud back on quite yet. I'll leave it like as is. Up to me just kind of tucking wires where they need to be. That there. Here. Got a little something something right here to keep that in place. Let's let that in. Now, stuff actually spins properly. No way. An 86 this. It's no garbage. This out of the way. Now I have my shroud screws still in the positions that they were in. Move those up out of the way a little bit here. And I have 4 screws on the back here to undo, and that will release the cooler. Wonder how dry the paste is going to be. And I have pulled it apart once, but that was a long time ago. It has gone through many heat cycles. Hey, I got some good coverage on them. All right. So we can go ahead and start cleaning the die off. The paste is actually not that goopy, or it's not dry. That's a good sign. It's a little bit harder, but it's not like dried out either. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna carefully wipe down the heat spreader here real quick. So as you see, it's nice and clean now. As clean as I'm gonna be able to get it. Put this off to the side. All right. Now we can start paying attention to all of this stuff. Kind of wiping out some of the dirt and debris that's in here. Like I said, I wanna look underneath the hood on this thing and see if there's any issues that I can plainly see, you know. Get some of this dirt off their heat spreader that they put down here. Like, too bad they didn't take advantage that they have a cooler on here. Okay, so I've got 2 screws on the rear IO that I got to take off, and then there's a bunch of little perimeter screws in here. this one out too. Now, just gotta undo the screws that are facing up, and this black plate will come clean off. And they are longer screws. They've got to go through all the way through to the back plate. Never been a fan of this style, but I mean, if it works, right? Whatever. We're not the engineers on this. What I don't like about it is like, you see this, you barely get any coverage on this on this in any way, shape, or form for the memory. You get more coverage over here, but you get like half the memory is really being covered here. I mean, it just feels like they're leaving a lot of performance on the table. And this is where I'm going to take out a little toothbrush here and kind of just give everything just like a little wipe. It's a soft toothbrush, nothing aggressive. You're not trying to knock components off. Got one screw for the back plate. That's why it doesn't want to release. I was like, why aren't you releasing? You should just fall. Got one. Now to fall. I think so. Oop. My neighbor wants to come by. Oop, I forgot one more screw. I see it now. Now it should come apart. Yay! Pads apart. Woohoo! Alright, here. And he's gonna knock here any moment. My neighbor. Yep, he's knocking. Oop. Sorry, baby girl. And people, be careful out there with your accounts and stuff like that. My buddy Groove Dude online, if you're in the Discord, you would have seen there earlier today that he posted some like weird hacker site link stuff. Um, Got to be careful with that, you know. Got to stay frosty out there, everybody. Sorry if I'm in the way. Trying to like see all in between the power zones, power delivery that's all right here, and some that's right here. But and there's like a lot of little components in here. I'm just trying to make sure I get into everything. Everything looks good. Doesn't look like there's anything burnt. Oh, I'm just gonna hope that maybe the fans are just tossing some like weird errors because of the way that they were starting to fail. Maybe giving it a good little wipe down here. Help out chill, right? See if this thing wants to behave. Think. All right, go ahead and start reassembling stuff here, right? Guess I could wipe down this too, real quick. Back plate. Ugh. All right, I need the front plate, which goes on like somewhere around there. That's good. Then I should wipe this down. Some of the dust that's on there. There we go. Oh, almost dropped that. I want to try to get away. I was like, I'm free. I'm not going to go in the hole. I'm afraid of the hole. It's all scary and dirty in there. What will this TI GPU mine? Um, it's been bouncing between like alphinium, um, you know, this is like one of my spec miners because like it really doesn't take much power. This thing will mine like right around 70 watts and get the same hash rate as a 1070 Ti. So it's pretty efficient on power for its generation class type. Right. So let's see here. We'll have enough in here. I bet you this one's empty. This my empty tube. Oh, 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 there's stuff in it. Oh, 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 we're gonna get every last drip out of it. Give it the good stuff. What do I consider the good stuff? Thermal grizzly. This is the hydronaut, so it's non-conductive and all that good stuff. And for these GPUs, it's actually easiest to lay your fans down. The paste is not going to go anywhere. So you can actually like flip it over and get her into position before you even really mate the surfaces up. And you can look right down into the screw holes, and you can usually locate where you need to put the screws into. Oh, okay. These things have got little tension springs on there, so you will have to give them a little bit of a push to get the threads started. So kind of be careful about not stripping this stuff out, guys. Otherwise, you'll be hunting down a new cooler. I've never done it before, but I've heard the stories. Then from here, I'll just hold on to the GPU because I don't want to put too much pressure as I go to tighten. All right, bam. Just like that. And the GPU is almost back together here. Go ahead and start plugging stuff in. Plug it in, plug it in. Sixteen to work. 1660 to work. Yes, sir. Get this thing back in the mine. Got this back in here. Still have two screws to put under the rear I/O, so I have not forgotten about that. I've never left screws out, but you know I don't have to have it together in order to do this. And pro tip, the screws that are here have like a little landing. You got to get them underneath the fan first and then slip it down. And that's the only way to get these things to settle down to where they should go. Right. Show. It is a blind hole, and it does not, because it's holding just the shroud on, guys, it doesn't need to be super tight. Only going through like a little bit of aluminum, so it's really easy. I cannot stress this enough. Really easy to strip out. And have some patience. Sometimes you got to take the shroud back off because a wire looks like it's not sitting down properly, and I cannot get that into the screw hole. So, shroud has to come back off. Try that again. That wire has come out from underneath its true home. We shall have to fix this. Dang it. That middle fan has come back up. Nice. Because the wire fell out of its holder. All right, guys, getting back in the way here. My big old fat head in the way, but I can't see the screw any other way. No? Now I bet you it'll do what I want you to do. Real time, man. There's nothing edited here. That was a real time problem. That shroud would have never gone back down. Try that again. Try that one more time. Here, this should do it. This should do it. I got good feelings for this. Oh yeah, that already looks like it's sitting down further than what it was. All right, we got one that's tight. You don't want to go all the way down. You go down on the one side, but not this side. Why not? Struggle is real, guys. See here. Maybe I just need to loosen this one up a little bit here. And it'll allow me to. Hey, there we go. That was just a little too aggressive on that. I guess I shouldn't have cinched it down. I thought it was good. And how about you? Okay. Yeah. Hey, there we go. Cool. Now we're getting somewhere. You know. There's real problems. It's tight now. Wires aren't completely the same. I mean, these are aftermarket fans, of course, right? You know, they've got to fight you the whole flipping way. Perfect. Okay. Screw in. Oh, that one's like really close. Holy cow. How in the world did they do this originally? All right. No more Mr. Wobblies. Let's go ahead and get this thing hooked back up and hashing. Give me a moment here. I'm going to go ahead and put this back in the rig. Oh. Right. Give me one moment here. I'll be right back. Oh, almost forgot those two screws. Gotta go put those back in real quick. It's all good. It's all good now. All right, let's see. This thing should be coming online here in just a second. Should see it. There it is. Here we go. Coming back on. All right here. There we go. We have fans. We have fan control here. That is awesome. Woohoo! And this is mining NXL right now, which is the most profitable thing for it at this moment. You know, move this out of the way so I can seize. Bam. Let's see this thing freaking hash away. Like, got new paste on it. I have no overclocks on this thing other than just kind of limiting some of the power. That's all I'm doing. And just doing this alone was killing the card. Like, there's no overclock. There should be nothing nailing this card really bad. What's going on, John Germain? What up, Adele? Happy. I know, got to break out the Nutella. It's all about that Nutella. And if you know, you know. So, I mean, you guys can see here by the chart, like, it turns on, hashes for a little bit, and yank back off. Turned on, sometimes it goes for a little while, and then it turns back off. So I'm hoping that it might be, like, because the fans were kind of goofing up so badly that it was just, like, making the card act weird. But the card seems to be, temperature-wise, doing better. That's actually an interesting one. Before, the temperature was like displaying like 35 Celsius. So that's a change in the card so far. We'll see if this thing just keep hashing here. Let's set it up this way. Everybody wants to see it hash, right? Let's actually see the mining dashboard. Give me 1 second here. Gotta pull it up. So if you guys have never played with Hive like this, you just there's a remote access button at the top of the screen. It'll drop down. You click on it. It'll have remote in and our shell, and then just launch the shell. And once you launch the shell, you'll get into this screen. You just type in miner. And it brings you right up onto the miner itself. Regal's different with how it shows everything. All right, we're submitting shares finally. It was like taking forever to submit shares too. This card was acting like it was all sorts of hurt. Last time it was up for 15 minutes, 20 minutes. It was up for 20 minutes and then dropped out. I have to say, Regal Miner looks weird. Let's see if I can try it this way. Want to kind of put it back onto the miner that was giving me the biggest issue, which was LOL miner. Let's see here. Just give it a second. It's like rebooting now. All right. Let's see how long this lasts. This is where I had my issues. Right here. Like, it would not hold this for very long. Come on. LOL miner was definitely failing faster. That's for sure, though. Let's see it submit a share. Like, I needed to submit a share here. LOL miner doesn't want to submit a share, though. Interesting. Being really slow to submit a share. Because Regal Miner had already submitted 2 shares in this same amount of time. The difficulty, yeah. I mean, I get it. Hey, it submitted a share, finally. Yeah. Submitted a share and it didn't crash. One sec, have to switch to PC. No problem. I don't even have an overclock on this card because, like, it was so unstable before. It submitted 2 shares. Oh my god. I'm like afraid to put an overclock on this thing. So, where I had it before, I'm gonna pop the memory up there. That's where I had memory before, and I had the clock, no core clock on it, and it was still like just eh. And it's back up and mining right now. seeing how long it's going to be doing this for. The fans look good. It's actually reporting properly. All right, let's add in. I'm gonna put 50 on this. Nice, nice. Custom VM with sandboxes with Ubuntu. And it was acting weird at this point too. I had I had the same overclock as I've got right now, 50 on the core, 810 on the memory, with the power limit at 100, and it was giving me like 10 mega hash more. So I think the cards might have been actually getting messed up by the fans. Wow. Interesting. Try it the other way. I'm going to try it this way. So 1680. You can now get rid of my power limit on there because I'm now core locked. See if you hold on to it better this way. This is the way that I prefer mining. If I'm going to sit there and give it the beans, let's give it the beans and let it, let it not kill itself. And see where the wattage wants to settle out at. Because right now, the wattage is actually higher than what it was the last time I set it here. The last time I set it here was trying to live life at about 70 watts. 65-ish watts. Here we go. Now it dropped. Took it a second to respond. All right, so now it dropped wattage, which is what I want to see, but it also dropped a lot of, so I dropped 30 watts from where I was at. I was at 554 mega hash on NXL, and now I've dropped 30 watts, and I have also dropped about 50 mega hash. Now I'm just kind of letting things settle in. because I think this is like the conservative side of the overclocking. I'm just making sure that it's not gonna try to instantly crash on me. On Blake, I'm right around there too. This is Carlson hash. I mean, I could try a Blake algorithm real fast. That ain't nothing. I just require switching over to flight sheet real fast. On Blake, I was getting 876 mega hash on Blake, but that was on Alphimium. I don't know what you were mining on Blake 3, but I was getting 876 mega hash. But this is a 1660 Ti. All right, looks like we're settling in right around 490 mega hash right now. Again, I'm really being conservative on the overclock, so I can certainly boost it from here. Because I've only got 1680 on the core. I think I got it up to like a lot higher right now. Nice. Yeah, I'm just on unmineable, getting some Nyaksa. Nice. That's what's up, boss. Bring that up to 1750 on the core. It should raise my power a little bit, which I'm cool with the power being up. So I basically dropped 30 watts, and 30 watts was like 3 or 4 mega hash per watt was what I was giving up. I mean, realistically, that's efficient. Now the power's starting to lift up on it. I'm trending more towards 80-ish watts, which should put me over 500 mega hash now. And no, I'm not mining Carlson. It's on Carlson hash, which is NXL. Doing some spec mining. So now I'm at 500 mega hash, so I'm over 500 now. Running like 78 watts. You see what the dip? You see that? It's like 10 mega hash for an additional 8 watts. So that's less than 1 watt per mega hash added. Oh, we're now at 505, so we're definitely well under 1 watt per mega hash added. And that's the efficiency I like to see. That's worth bumping it up a little bit more. That's why, like, if you're going on to hashrate.no, and you'll see the overclocks on there, their overclocks are not always correct. They were saying 1680 on the core for the core lock on Hive, and like I was saying, that's a conservative overclock. That's safe. And they're saying that it gets you like 506, 507 mega hash for like 48 watts. No way. This card runs on the low end at 70 watts. So how much lower can you really make the card run before it becomes unstable? And I'll tell you what, doing what I'm doing right now, where I'm playing with the overclocks, would have made the thing instantly crash already. So I can already tell you that this thing is already is running better. Literally, just changing the core on this thing, I would have had to have already turned it on and off a couple of times. So if you got messed up fans, guys, and you're kind of getting weird instability, I mean, go ahead, replace the fans, rethermal paste it, clean the card, and see how it responds from doing that first. So it doesn't look like the card is hurt. I mean, I got the fans at 65%. It's running at 42 degrees Celsius, hanging tight really good, 78 watts. It's been mining for 20 minutes with me messing with the overclocks on it. If the wife was paying attention, she would have watched me go into the room yesterday a bunch of times. She's like, I was paying attention. She's like, I was having a conversation with you, and then you were in the room, and you don't hear nothing. So, yeah. I was in and out of that room like crazy yesterday, going, what the hell is going on? It was like turning on, malfunctioning. I'm like, what the hell? Now it's behaving itself. So let's go ahead, put this to 1800 on the core clock. Let the power go up on it. I got enough headroom. I barely even got the fans running. Those fans are like idling right now, basically. 65%. Can you even call that mining? Oh. 523.9 mega hash. Yo. We're back over to we just raised it 20 mega hash. Oh god, yeah. There are times where you could just sit there and just play with it, and like next thing you know, half your day is gone. We're now at 85 watts, so we have now raised another additional 7 watts. So 1800 from 1750 to 1800 is 7 watt difference. And the mega hash is now over 23 mega hash. Yeah, the last time I put it to 1800, it like mined for like a minute. If that. It was like, bloop. As soon as it found its first share, it was like, game over. And this wadded, if you're on HiveOS or any of the other ones, and you see the reporting of like, your one GPU like this one's reporting at 88 watts of consumption. That is not taking in account for the PCIe lanes. That could be up to. It doesn't say that it's going to be pulling 75 watts all the time. It's probably not. but you can be as high as 75 watts. I've seen them as low as like 30 watts, and I've seen them on average sitting right around like 55 watts on average. We've submitted a share at 1800 and it did not crash. I think we're on to something here, guys. Oh my god. Stupid fans were freaking killing my hash rate. Yep. Two of the fans were wobbly, and I'm wondering if they were like maybe arcing out every so often. New fans for the win. Hell yeah, brother. Oh. Can I lean on the card a little bit here? Come on. 1850. So this should be just another like 7-8 watts. Holy cow. It's doing stuff. It's not crashing. Oh, we are 538.92. Is it climbing still? Oh, 538. Amazing. FA in the chat for it not crashing. Yes, it's still on NXL. I could test over on some Alphemium if you wanted to test out onto Blake 3. Would you like to see some Blake 3 testing? I know you're on Blake 3, so I'm willing to do that for you. I was actually trying to see. He's like, sure. Let's see here. Give it a second here. You got what kind of mega hash on it? 566. I'm like waiting for my my wallet address to get off the screen, and I'll show you. And this isn't even me tuning it yet. Come on, get off the screen. Like, give me a sec. We'll check watts. We have definite proof of work. And there we go. I can see it. I've got 768 running at about 103 watts. Usually when I start backing off GPUs is whenever I start getting to where in order to get a mega hash, I'm spending a full watt. You've gone to where the efficacy doesn't make sense anymore. 39 watts. Yeah, I can get it down that low, but and that's not most of the, how can I put it? How can I put this? Like, I can make this GPU report a lot lower wattage. Yes, I'm going to give up some hash rate to do it, of course. But, yeah, exactly. I mean, if as long as you got a good efficacy, you're doing good. But for the way that I look at it is, if I'm spending a watt per mega hash, it's not worth the mega hash. You're basically pushing the card up to its near limitation. So I try to have the efficacy be pretty high, and you give up hash rate, but you're taking an inefficient card and potentially giving it the efficiency that it needs. So, yeah. It's just like kind of like what it can do on the high end. I like to see what its capabilities truly are. And my temperature is not bad. It's not bad at all in temperatures. 47C, 65% fan. Again, this card would have already crashed. So the fans were definitely making the difference. Of course, I rethermal pasted it. But of course, that's going to make it work even better. Oh, we've made it to 48C. So let's try this to 1900. That'll probably put me to about 120 watts. Which, that is about where you want your limitation on this card to be. No more than like about 120 watts if you're going to push it. Not that it can't handle it. It's just a lot of demand on the card. Do I consistently mine like this? No. So don't get me wrong either. I mean, like I'm not going to be mining with it with the full beans. Even Crypto Bedell can attest to this, that I don't mine at full bean. I'll test with it at full bean, see what it does, and go from there. But yeah, no, I don't keep it there. Like, fan at 0 is good here. Yeah, I know, right? That's why I mined with the 580s with no fans on there. It's like I I don't need all the wattage. I don't need to use all the wattage and have it mining at full tilt, you know? Oh no, I got it up and hashing, dude. She's back in the mine. All right, so 1900 on the core, only raised the wattage up 8 watts. So we're gonna go up. See, but like I'm thinking full. See, I'm not want to do like again full beam. So let's do 1950 on the core. I'm trying to get that 120 watt range, because to me, like I said, that's end of the world on there. You start going up higher, and you're not gonna be 100% guaranteed you're gonna be stable. And you're pushing a lot of wattage. Oh, there we go. 124 watts. From here, this is where I'm gonna increase my fan setting just a little bit. 75 on the fan. This is how I would run my 1070s, guys. Whoa, 128. Oh, not that high though. You see how I went from 113 and now I'm at 128. This is basically full, almost full beam. And we're almost at 800 mega hash. Now I did give it the full beam and I brought it up to 876. She got warm. $131. It's climbing. I know, we're getting so close to the 2K subscriber count. I know. Oh, she's settling back down, 125. And we are almost at 800 megahash. So you guys want to help this channel grow, that'd be amazing. If we get to 2,000 subscribers, I'll do a giveaway. I'm not even playing. I thought about it. I'll make it official. I get to 2,000 subscribers, I will do a 2K subscriber giveaway. So get the word out, people. I'll even make it juicier. I'll make it really juicy, guys. You want to do a 2K giveaway, guys? You want to help me get there? GPU giveaway, how's that? 1070, guys. You give me the 2K, there's a 1070 giveaway coming up then. Pass the you give me the 2K, guys. I got you. All your hard work, it'll be a giveaway. But I need to see 2K subscribers or more. Preferably more, you know, not less. Sadie's like, woohoo, 2K incoming. Right? I will do a GPU giveaway, guys. You guys heard it here. It'll be of the gigabyte variety. Some of these GPUs, I'll guarantee you that these are the GPUs that I started off with. These GPUs. I've had this bad boy since the beginning. 2018, I started mining on this bad boy. I'll even sign it. You'll have a Nemesis signature on the back. So damn, look at this. 130 watts settling in at 800 megahash. Go a little further. Let's see how much of the beans I can give it to this thing. 2,000 on the core lock. Signed, creating 400 accounts. They have to be all. They have to all be subscribed to me, and they have to stay as subscribed too. They can't just unsubscribe either. You know. It's like that one, like the one joke. It's like, I only had 5 people watching my show. Where were you? I didn't see you there. I was creating 5 other accounts. And it's like, I love you, bro. $2K soon. Full run incoming. You know it, dude. You know it. So, guys, just remember, that'll be a... Oh, if you could take care of them. All right. So far, it's not crashed, or it's delayed. So far, it's not crashed. All right. So looks like 2,000 on the core didn't do anything. Have I hit my power limit? It says it maxes out at 156 watts. It says I'm only using 128. Bingo. So it looks like raising that up that high did nothing, actually. So it looks like 800 megahash is really the end of the world on this card. All right, so it looks like that is end of the world right there. So raising it up an extra 50 megahertz really didn't do anything to the card. Let me raise it up one more time. So 2050, let's apply that and see if it gives us anything more. So now we're 100 megahertz higher, but it doesn't seem like it's giving any more power. Like we've hit the wall. It right now it's trying to pull 128 watts, but it doesn't want to pull any more. So I might be hitting that frequency like limitation on the card. So this is on the high side too. Remember that, 800 megahash. I mean, from where your card is, it's an extra 100 watts to get up to 800 megahash. So your efficacy down low, running it at low power like that, is way better than where mine is. So I gained an extra almost 300 megahash for an extra 100 watts. Oh. So yeah, I mean, it looks like 130 watts is kind of that limitation. Running at 50%, 50 degrees Celsius at 75% fan. So in order to run this wattage, I also have to have the fan rate up. And you can see what I'm doing actually in actual speed. So mining side, it's submitting 800 megahash. From pool side, it's on average around 740 to about 760. So you'll have a small loss on there, but because I'm pushing it so hard, there will be a discrepancy on what it's actually submitting. And on top of that, the rig is also mining Monero, which also gives a bit of latency in the connection. So but definitely I'm not getting anything more out of this. Now, if I were to sit there and put like 125 on the core and then let the power go, I can get higher. But at that point, there's the efficacy is out the window. The efficiency is gone, absolutely gone by that point. So with it being like just not completely worth doing whenever you're when you're just pushing all the wattage. I mean, I can make it hit 100. I think I've gotten it up to like 142 watts to get it up there. So it's not worth that kind of wattage being utilized. You're really hammering on that. So what it'll look like is like this: 25, and then you just let it drink. So let's see if this lets it drink. I'm just seeing where the limitation is on this card. You paying premium for more coin. The coin could pump and cover for all the price. You're 100% right. 100% right, boss. 100% right. Oh, there we go. We got it drinking more. We have it drinking more wattage now. Now it's like, I shall give you extra hash rate. Here's an extra 12 megahash. Let's see where the wattage really wants to sit. So far, it's at 131 watts. And I'm now getting an extra... we got 830. Oh, it's going up now. You just replaced fans. You already know where the breaking point is. I've actually never pushed it on this algorithm. Like I said, like I was farting around with it, okay? And I got it up to 876, okay? I don't remember what my overclocks were. It was late at night, you know, right before you go to bed, and you're like, huh, oh wow, that's a lot of hash rate. Let's tone that down a little bit. That's a lot of heat. 843 for the same wattage. Let's see where she wants to really hit. The only thing I did was just take away the core lock on there, and there's no more, and the power is staying the same, 129 to 131 watts. So now it's bouncing around just a little bit. Have a good night, Crypto Bedell. Have a good night, Home Dog. I'm just here now, just testing at this point. We're just having fun. We're going to see what the limit of this card is. Because my temps are at 49 degrees Celsius, so my temps are perfect. They're premium. They are premium. You know what? Let's bring it to 150. I'm trying to crash the card. I really am. I'm kind of going out of my way to try to crash this card. Because again, I've never really pushed it on this algorithm. Take it easy, bro. All right, let's see how it goes now. Oh, we got 855, 854. She's climbing now. Let's go, baby, go. 854, and we're at the same wattage. We haven't increased any more wattage on this. I think that the hard cap that I'm gonna hit is gonna be the wattage limitation on this card. Because basically I've given it an additional 50 mega hash for no extra wattage gained. So 855. For 128 watts. Do another 75. So 175 on the core. No core lock. Just 175. No limitation on the power. 810 on the memory. 75% on the fan. remember having the overclock this high before. Just to be honest, I do not remember it being this high. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. I will see it. Oh, we're at 860. We are at 860 for the same amount of wattage being used. So 129. So 128 to 131 watts is where I've been bouncing between. There's the magic sauce coming in. Free hash rate. 860. Got that magic hash rate coming in. She still isn't crashing. It's awesome. So it is definitely holding at that 860 line for 129 watts. Oh, this is awesome. This is the first time I'm like paying attention and the card's like obviously not hurt. I'm like knocking the snot out of it right now, and it's just like, whatever. We'll keep going. We got more. I'm like afraid to hit it another 25. Like 200 on the core. That seems a little high. Like I'm afraid. Yes. Yes, boss. What up, Crypto Corrag? What up, my dude? What's up, homie? Yeah, Windows is half of the of what you see here. So mem would be 405 on the mem, and you would be what is that? 75. What is that? 80. 85 on the core, something like that. So let me try. I'm going to try 200 on this because I'm thinking I should be able to do 100 on Windows. So I should be able to do 200 here. Let's see if it crashes. You know, for that one, the boss, I would say that one for me, from my experience, has been kind of 50-50. Like, if I put, trying to remember which GPU I directly tested this between Windows and Linux. Which GPU was that of mine? Trying to remember which GPU I had here. I think my 3080 Ti that I got in here. I can do. Oh, it crashed. It finally crashed. The whole rig crashed. Give it up. We've crashed the whole rig. So 175 is the magic number. I was wondering when I was going to do that. We have just witnessed it. Unrecoverable. Unrecoverable. As soon as the overclock set in, it was just like, meh, nope. No, thank you. Please come again. We're gonna try to. Oh, it did a hard crash. So now, reboot. That was a hard crash. But I found that some algorithms, some miners, depends on how they're gonna hit. Oh, at least on the MEMS. Yep, 2100 core crash. We hit the limit. And it's hard to say if I hit the limit because it wouldn't let me, like, if I give it more power, if I force it to give me more power, can I get the extra hash rate out of it? Is it worth it? No. Let's see how this wants to do it. All right, GPU's back. It's now recoverable. 5. See, I got it up to 870. Here we go. It's at 870 now. Right off the ripper. Holy crap. Oh, it's settling down now. It was just up there for a minute. I saw it. It was there, I swear. Wallet address is almost off the screen. Crashed again. Unrecoverable. Unmounting. Oh, it did crash. Oh, it does not like it at that level at all. Let's see here. So 175 is a tad much. We're gonna try it at 170 on the core on the overclock here. It's being glitchy trying to come back. Let's go ahead and reboot this bad boy. This is the first time I've like really leaned on it since like I fixed everything. Back. Starting up Hive real quick. The Hive shell. Well, 2 rigs of 12 by 8. Other rigs, power is the issue for me. Don't have a problem with power side. Yeah, this one should settle down just a little lower. It didn't whack it so hard this time. Let's see if it settles in now. Now this looks like it's settling. This looks a little more promising. So I'm 170 on the overclock. Now this is an ASUS ROG Strix 1660 Ti. So you know it's one of the beastie ones. And this thing has been a pretty decent performer the day that I got it. All right, this is right where it was like, meh. Well, let's see if it gets past it. We are. It's holding tight. It's steadying out now. Okay. It looks like, for sure, Sadie. Thank you for being here. All right, here we go. Bam. We got 863 at 128 watts. I think mine's Zotac. Won't compare probably. It depends. I haven't tested too much with them, but I haven't been impressed with Zotac's cooler design. Their coolers have always been subpar at best. Bam. $863, holding the wattage. Holding that line. So this is pretty much end of the world. You want to see max hash rate? Here you go. Anything down from here is just putting it into efficiency mode, realistically, you know. Well, this is the best that, since I've done my repair, this is now the best that I can get this thing to run. Which, on Blake, the max that it did was 876.3 mega hash. It did it for, what? 1210 to... It held tight for, like, about 2 hours before it crashed. And then I got up in the morning and turned it off, and here we are testing on it right now. Oh yeah, everything's different. Everything, but you know what? It's running better. It's not crashing out like it was before. It's now reliable. Knock on wood, right? Oh, it crashed. Oh. Here I am talking about it. I think the 860 range is a little bit high. So let me pull it back down to 170, 125 to 150 is usually your range on your just your standard clock on there. So I was seeing how much of a winner this was. Oh, it blinked back. What? Oh yeah, it crashed a little. It crashed a little. It crashed, guys. Put it back down to the 150 mark. That was me pushing. I was sitting there waiting for it to just do it. I'm like, man, I know I'm like still high at 170. Let's see how much it's there. Let's see how much it's actually there. Hey, it's back. I might have caught it in time. I got it back down to 150. And the hash rate's still up there. It's still at freaking 860. Oh, there we go. 857. So this is probably where it's stable at. Oh. So yeah, just kind of remember, guys, if you got a 1660, it will act more like its 1070 counterpart. Or just like refresh on a 1070 platform. At least that's what performance was. So you got like the newer style architecture with the power efficiencies in them. So that's what really made the 16 series kind of interesting, was that you had all the 1070 performance, but you were 30% more power efficient. All right, looks like we are nice and efficient. Here we go. Now she's happy. So that's pretty much where she's going to settle in at. So 857.24. at about 128 watts. Now, my temperature, I'm at 50 degrees Celsius. So I probably can tone down this fan just a little bit. So let's see if I just put it down to 65%. Take off 10% fan on this. I've even seen taking down some fan alleviate some power back to the core and your hash rate go up. That could have been what I had doing too, where I had less fan and this thing started hash rate went way up because of that. Got it registering at 66% fan. Nemesis has become one with the graphics card. Maybe. Like, I'm not afraid to see it at in 60 Celsius. That's completely great operational temperature. You're not losing any hash rate. I've seen video games hit this card harder. Actually, to tell you the honest truth, this is the card. I had this card in my GPU, in my computer too for a while, because I couldn't hash on it properly. This one too was like, I could put it at, I could put the memory at about 1,000 maximum on Windows. Oh yeah, 100%. $1455 memory offset. I could try boosting the memory on this thing. See what it does. You want me to put the memory to 1455? Oh wow, look at this. By turning down the fans, the temperature has gone down and the wattage has gone up, and I've gained in megahash. Interesting. All I did was turn down the fan. This card's only got so many wattages that can go into it. Here, I'll put the 1070 stuff into it. Let me see here. 1455. We'll yank you down to, let's see where 90 puts it. Apply. And for anybody who's like utilizing Hive OS and they're like, man, I'm not sure where I should really put it, right? You pull up your overclock setting and there's like a thing up on there that says config and popular presets. You can go over to popular presets. You can type in the coin, select it, and it'll give you like your top ways that people have been putting their overclocks down. So a lot of people put a negative 3,000 on the memory. A lot of people do. See, what's wild with this though is that you're really not getting a whole lot of wattage drop down there. Like, you gotta like yank it down, and the moment that I touch the wattage, you lose all that hash rate. Like, I would rather sit there and keep it at this 150 because I know it can hang out here. Sure it doesn't crash. $854. So we've climbed back up. So if it doesn't really go too much higher than where it's at right now, then the memory really isn't playing too big of a factor in all of this. Yeah, we're still staying in the 850s for 129 watts. So, utilizing that 128 to 131 watts, you're really not getting a huge benefit. And you see with the memory up, it looks like I'm losing hash rate. A little bit. Like, it was better with it down, not up. So it looks like a negative. Maybe they were onto something. I remember having that the memory I put at negative 3,000 at one point. Because like right now, it looks like I'm getting less mega hash right now. I really am. So what I'm gonna try here is what I saw them doing. So negative 3,000, which just puts it in a default and drops it down really bad. Let's see what it does. I wonder if it also helps like drop some of the wattage going to the memory modules if it's being commanded to do less work. The frequency slows down, it's using less wattage. That can now go to the core. I would think that Blake is going to be more core dominant. See, since I dropped that down, I can see that the hash rate's already starting to increase. So we're at 865, and all I did was drop it to negative 3,000 on the core. Here we go, guys. 866. just by putting the memory down to negative 3,000. It's starting to settle off at 866. And what I probably did was I put it to 175 on the core. It held at 175 at negative 3,000 and gave me my my 876. So we know that this is pretty much that end of the world if you were going to max it out. And look at this. It's now using a little less wattage. Look at that. Would you look at that? You can, on an Alphemium, if you have a 1660 Ti, you could put a negative 3,000 on it, drop your wattage down. You don't need it. You just need a good, stable core clock on this thing. So it's now balancing back off. I knew it was going to come back up, but you're now utilizing a lot less wattage. So you're probably, it should start stabilizing here in a minute. Before we do a full conclusion on where the wattage is really going to settle at, let's see. Oh, went back to 129. Let's see if it does that again. We get two testing cycles on this. Come on. See if that was just a fluke for me making a change. And it's spooling back up. So now it's holding at 866 consistently. So yeah, we're now dropping into that 128 range, 128 watts. So I'll probably be between 128 and 129. And all we did was we dropped the memory to negative 3,000 instead of running 810 or 14. What was that? 1455. So definitely got a benefit from running it this direction, like this. Let's see if we get another print with the power reading still being measured at 128. Could be printing here in a second. There we go. So 128. It's now stabilizing at about 128 now too. So that's a good sign. So stability. Whenever you're looking at power, that's going to be telling you if you're kind of pushing the limit. If it starts bouncing around, it shows like 128 here, 130 here, 129, 131, 133, 129. You start seeing that kind of bouncing around and that kind of swing. You're kind of pushing the threshold of the GPU itself. You might be running into that situation where if it actually nails a block, it may cause the GPU to become unsettled, unhappy, and crash on you in the middle of submitting a share. And it's unfortunate when it happens like that, but it does happen. So at that point, I would say back it up. Now, if you guys are looking for trying to squeeze in as much harder as you can in a small amount of area, and you're like, hey, look, I want to deploy the equipment, from here, I would start pulling power off. So You know, if I wanted to sit there and see, okay, this is my max of where it's going to be. I have no power limit on here. Remember this, guys. There's no power limit. Let's see. Now, it shows on here that the lowest you can really obtain realistically is 70 watts. Power limit on the low side. There may be times where the machine might read a lower wattage because it's not submitting a share, but the moment that it submits a share, it's gonna bring its power rate right back up. Let's drop this down to 70 watts. Let's bring it to its low side. This is gonna scrub a whole lot of wattage, a whole lot of hash rate off of this. Just gonna eviscerate it. Be like, bye. Okay. I'll finish up here in a minute. Thank you, baby. All right. Hash rate is a dropping. Now we're under 700 and 757. Now registering a nice crisp 70 watts. And for 70 watts, I'm getting 776 megahash, 760. So it's actually not too bad for dropping it down to just the bare minimum of 70 watts. Now, if I were to sit there and put the absolute core clock on this, I believe it'll go down a little lower. So if I do 1250 on this, we take off the core limit, the power limit, because I'm doing it through core clock. We'll do 1250. Let's see how low this bad boy can go. Ooh, can you go? So far, this card looks like it's very much healthy. It definitely was a fan causing instability on this rig. Oh, we are at 37 watts now, and I've got 697. Where were you at? Where'd you type that in the chat? I remember seeing this. I remember this. Let's see here. 566. What was the wattage on that bad boy? Let's see here. Didn't you put down what your wattage was? Look at that. 627.3 at 37 watts. You're at 36. Oh, it's now registering 557. It's going down. Let's see where it really settles in at here. Because it's like slowly dropping down still. I'm seeing if it'll actually like kind of settle out. So it's now registering at 36 watts. 527.17. I'm gonna get some food here, guys. All right, here. So 527 for 2.9 watts. What? This thing had to have crashed. It's showing 2.9 watts for 0 mega hash. I think it crashed. Yeah, it's got 0 mega hash now. It's idling. Hold on here, guys. Yep. She crashed. I'm gonna do 1350. Bring it up a little bit. Let me reboot this thing. You're gonna need it. All right. Let's reboot up that mining screen. Let's see here. I think running all my other cards with the 1660s will affect the whole rig. I think so. If you start overclocking it really hard, and you're overclocking the memory, you'll have what I call memory bleed. So if you overclock the memory of one card too much, it'll start pulling from its adjoining the corresponding PCIe rail with the one that you're plugged into. So usually it hits GPU 1 is where it usually reverts back to. So if you're overclocking the snot out of the RAM out of the VRAM, you can affect the performance of another GPU if it's due to memory things, memory intensive. There we go. All right, here we go. $39 watts, 563. Let's see where she wants to settle in at. Nope, she crashed again. She don't like it this low. I told you, 70 watts is like kind of that sweet spot. I don't think your mining dashboard is proper I think it's giving you a false reading of where it's at. It like bounces down there and then comes back. You know what I'm saying? I think 1450 is the lowest that I've put onto this card. And I can sit there and put an amp clamp onto it and actually measure what's coming out of that one particular cable. Yep. Wonder if I didn't catch it right. It like turned off before I did this. Huh? Yeah. Need to reboot it. It did not catch that in time. I thought I hit reboot in time. I didn't. Try that again. With that one, boss, I'm not. No, it'll affect it if you're overclocking the memory. Memory is the only thing that'll get shared between all the PCIe rails. So if you overclock beyond the boundary of a particular card, the adjoining card, another adjoining card is going to get affected. You can cause another card to crash. Which is typically you see it in GPU 1 first. All right. Ooh. All right, let's see here. So we got 607 for 46 watts. Seems to be stable. So I'm running at just a few more, like 10 more watts than you, but I'm also getting a few more mega hash. Nice. It's like I'm on Blake 3. I'm smacking Blake 3 with 22 gigahash. Nice. So depending on how you want to run it, you can sit there and run it, you know, where you're at, or bump it up just a pinch. So here is my overclocks on it. I've got, and I could probably, oh God, I can drop this fan off even more. Oh my God. Hold on here. Just put that fan down to like 40%, man. You barely even need it. Just needs like a little light breeze on that card. I could probably turn the fans off at this point. Thing's using so little wattage. Holy crap. The mining room is like 80 something degrees. And these fans are this fan's like almost off here. Hold on here. I'm gonna do it. No more fan. No more fan. Bye-bye, Felicia. Let me verify that the fan's off. %, the fans are off. They're off. 100% off. Card's now using 44 watts. There we go. Nice. We're at 39 degrees. No fans. Wow. This is how you get your efficacy to go up. I know, right, boss? Find where that card wants to live life happy and let it hatch. So it definitely looks like the fans were my issue. Maybe it needed to be cleaned, so I cleaned it, re-thermal pasted it. I mean, it should be living life, it should be living large now. Like I have 12-inch fans blowing heat through the house. Hell yeah, brother. I do the same thing. I've got no, mine's a 28-inch. I have two of them. One in the window and one sitting out just at the doorway. Like, oh, sorry, Matt, 24. No problem, dude. Yeah, mine are 28. I've got the ones that you can get at Home Depot. Oh, he crashed. Bring it up just a little bit. That could be heat related too, or just coincidence. Walmart's better. Yeah, for sure, for sure. I think I'm gonna get up out of here too, man. I'm just kind of messing around at this point, you know, seeing where it's gonna live, where how low can I get it to go? I mean, it obviously is unhappy under 44 watts. I mean, it is more of a performance card, so not to see it hit the lower limits versus a more of your economically friendly GPUs that are not so much like just the cheaper cards don't have all the high performance built into the chip. They're not binned, so typically they would use a little less power, get a little less hash rate off of it, but they're still just as efficient in its own right. So I mean, I'm getting a little more wattage out of the deal than you are, but for a nominal amount of wattage uptick. So it's really not a bad trade-off. I'd probably make it live life more into the 70 watt range, just so that it's more stable. Cards like to have a certain amount of power going through them. Won't make you rich, but it won't make you poor either. You know that, the hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah, for sure. So thank you everybody for being here and all that good stuff. Definitely, if you've made it this far, definitely make sure you smash that Lizzie like button. Make sure you've subscribed if you're new here. All that good stuff. Share this out onto your favorite social medias. And if I get to 2,000 subscribers, a lot of these have got brand new fans on them. Brand spanky new fans. Give it the panda flip. So definitely be able to get one of these out to one of you awesome people if you help me get to 2,000 subscribers. I'm not that far. I'm really not that far. You're talking, I'm, right around that 1,600 subscriber mark. You're only talking 400 new subscribers or so, just a little over that. So definitely help me cross that threshold. Pimp me out, guys. No, just kidding. You don't have to. I mean, if you don't want to get a free GPU, I mean, I understand. I'll keep the GPU. It's not a problem. So with that being said, thank you everybody for being here. All that good stuff. As the video is editing, certainly click off on one of those little thumbnails at the end of the video. It actually helps out with the YouTube algorithm. Everybody that participates in that, hell yeah, you guys suck. Or you guys know what's up. All that good stuff. So definitely help me out. It gives it what they call a click-through rate, whatever the hell that really means, right? And then you just get off of that video, right? So thank you, everybody. All that good stuff. Peace out. Stay savage. May your watts be low and your hash be high. I'll see you on the next one.